Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. In a world where fame shines brighter than truth, one story has broken millions of hearts. Just months after the untimely death of beloved Chinese actor Menglong, rumors began spreading that his mother, the woman who once stood silently behind his success, may also have passed away. But what really happened? And why does this story continue to move so many people, even beyond China's borders? It began as a whisper, quiet, uncertain, and almost too painful to believe. Yet within hours, that whisper became a storm that swept through social media, shaking millions across China and beyond. Rumors about the passing of Menglong's mother spread like wildfire, echoing through the digital world where truth and speculation often blur into one. For a public still grieving the loss of the young actor himself, this new wave of sorrow felt unbearable, as though the universe had chosen to reopen a wound that had barely begun to heal. Fans flooded the internet with disbelief, prayers, and desperate hope. Could it really be that the woman who had stood so proudly behind her son, the one who had watched him rise from obscurity to stardom, was now gone too? The entertainment industry fell silent, as if holding its breath. No one close to the family made a statement, no agency released a confirmation, and yet the rumors refused to fade. They lingered in the air, haunting the online space like a collective cry for answers. Each repost, each comment carried both fear and compassion, a reflection of how deeply Menglong had touched the lives of those who admired him. To his fans, this was not merely celebrity gossip. It was the continuation of a tragedy that felt deeply personal. Many remembered how often he spoke of his mother, how his eyes softened whenever her name was mentioned. The thought that she might have followed him in grief became a story too human, too raw, for anyone to ignore. In every corner of the internet, people searched for clues, for comfort, for something solid to believe in. Some clung to hope that the rumor was false, a misunderstanding born of sorrow. Others whispered that perhaps, unable to bear the pain, she had chosen to leave quietly, just as her son had once left the world too soon. And so the story grew. Not out of malice but out of love. It became a mirror reflecting how much people still cared, how deeply they wished for peace to find the family that had already endured so much. In that silence, the world discovered something rare, that even rumors, when born of empathy, can reveal the depth of humanity's shared heart. From the very beginning of his career, Menglong often spoke about his mother with a tenderness that revealed more than fame ever could. She was not just a parent but the quiet heartbeat of his life, the unseen force that shaped the man behind the screen. While others saw the rising star, she saw the boy who once doubted himself, the dreamer who needed gentle reminders that his worth was not measured by applause. In every interview, in every pause between his words, there was an unspoken truth. His success was never his alone. It belonged to her as well, to the woman who had endured hardships, sacrificed her own comfort, and carried him through the uncertain years when his dreams were fragile and easily broken. Those who knew described their relationship as sacred, almost unbreakable. He would call her before every major event, not for advice on his career but for reassurance, for the sound of her calm voice reminding him who he truly was. Fame never changed that bond. When the world began to see him as a public figure, she continued to treat him simply as her son, a young man who needed to eat well, sleep enough, and stay humble. It was her quiet guidance that grounded him amidst the noise of celebrity life. She never sought attention, never used her son's name for recognition. Her pride was simple, seeing him live with kindness and integrity. After Yu's death, fans revisited those rare interviews and found themselves hearing them differently. What once sounded like gratitude now felt like prophecy, a farewell wrapped in devotion. "My mother is the reason I dared to chase my dreams," he had once said, his eyes glistening with emotion. That single sentence now carried the weight of eternity. It spoke of a love so deep that even death could not separate it. Perhaps that is why the rumors about his mother's fate have struck such a painful chord. because the world already understood how intertwined their lives were. To lose him was to see half of her heart disappear. To lose her would mean the other half finally stopped beating. Their story was never about tragedy alone. It was about love in its purest, most enduring form, a bond that defined not only his life but his legacy. The line between truth and sorrow often blurs when grief becomes too heavy to carry, and for you Menglong's fans, this was precisely where hope and despair began to intertwine. The internet became a space filled with questions no one could answer and emotions too large to contain. When a message, allegedly from Yu Menglong's mother, surfaced online, "My son, I will be with you soon," it sent ripples of heartbreak through every corner of the digital world. Those 8 words, simple yet devastating, were read not as a post but as a cry from the depths of a mother's shattered soul. Some believed it was her final farewell. Others insisted it was a misunderstanding, a misinterpreted signal from someone overwhelmed by grief. The uncertainty only deepened the pain, leaving millions suspended between hope and despair. The thought of a mother's love collapsing under the weight of loss was too much for many to bear. To Yu Menglong's admirers, his mother represented strength, warmth, and resilience, a living memory of him. Losing her too would mean closing the last chapter of a story they were not yet ready to finish. And yet, others clung to the possibility that she was still alive, hidden away somewhere, far from the noise and cruelty of public speculation. There were whispers of a woman seen praying in a small temple in Chengdu, her head bowed, her hands trembling over a single candle. Some swore it was her, finding peace in silence. Whether the story was true or not did not matter. What mattered was the hope it offered. That love could survive even in the quietest, loneliest places. That tension between despair and faith defined the conversation that followed. Every new rumor became a reflection of what people feared and what they longed for, a mirror showing the fragile humanity behind their devotion. The tragedy of Yu Menglong and his mother had become something larger than a single family's loss. It was a reminder that grief, in all its pain, can also reveal the purest forms of love. Between hope and despair, people found connection, not through certainty but through shared emotion. And perhaps, somewhere beyond the noise of the internet, that shared hope became a prayer, carrying both mother and son into the quiet eternity where love is the only thing that remains. What makes this story so powerful is not just the rumor itself, but the emotion it awakened. Across different countries and languages, fans expressed their sorrow. Messages of love and empathy flooded online spaces. If she's gone, they're together now, in a place where no pain exists. They were both too kind for this world, and now they rest side by side. It's more than grief. It's a form of shared humanity. People who never met Yu Menglong or his mother still felt connected to them through the universal language of love and loss. Neither Yu Menglong's management team nor his relatives have confirmed or denied the rumor. Instead, a single post appeared on the company's official page. A photo of a sunset captioned, "Some love runs too deep to ever be explained." To fans, that wasn't just a quote. It was a message, subtle, poetic, and filled with quiet grief. The silence only deepened the mystery, but perhaps that's the point. Some stories don't need to be confirmed to be felt. They live on in memory, in emotion, and in the way people continue to remember. Whether the rumor is true or not, Yu Menglong's story reminds us of something timeless. That love between a parent and a child never dies. Even in the face of tragedy, that bond becomes a light, guiding, healing, and eternal. In a world that often moves too fast, this moment has made millions pause, to appreciate the people they love while they still can. Perhaps that's the real meaning behind the story. Not just to grieve but to reflect. Not just to remember Yu Menglong and his mother, but to cherish our own loved ones more deeply. And so the question remains, is Yu Menglong's mother truly gone? Or has she simply chosen silence as her way of healing? Maybe we'll never know. But what we do know is this: love leaves echoes that never fade. Wherever they are, Yu Menglong and his mother have already become a symbol of unbreakable love, inspiring people around the world to be kinder, gentler, and more grateful for life itself. Thank you for watching this emotional story with us. If you believe that love never truly dies, show your support by clicking like, leaving a comment, and subscribing to UdateX24H for more meaningful stories from across Asia's entertainment world. Stay kind, stay curious, and may we all remember to hold on to the people we love, while we still can.